This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, hold on, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, Anak.
Okay, sounds good. So you don't have a camera?
I don't, not on my computer.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, no worries, man. How's June 6th, Monday treating you?
June
Busy?
16, it's pretty good. Pretty
Good?
good.
Busy?
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
Nice. Busy. You're in the office right now, you said, right?
I am.
Gotcha. Okay. What are you working on right now? Just following
Uh,
up?
I just walked in. We got a new printer, so we're gonna be
Nice.
setting that up. Yeah.
New printer. Nice. Are you on a team or is it brokerage or is it your
No, the office is owned by my brother,
team?
but I don't work in a team. I've been doing this 27 years on my own.
Okay.
Yeah,
Solo? You're a solo agent though?
solo agent, yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah,
Cool. 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 Um, Sweet. And you're in where are you? In Illinois?
North Lake, Illinois, which is about 25 minutes from downtown Chicago, going west.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Hmm.
Going west. Okay, so you're west of Chicago. You said what's it
Yes,
called? North Lake?
North Lake, yes.
North Lake. Gotcha. Cool, cool. My family is from, or my mom's side of the family is from Indiana. Um,
Oh, okay. Not too
close,
far.
yeah, close
Maybe
to
an hour or
yeah,
so.
close to Chicago too. A little bit south of
Hmm.
Chicago, I think, outside of the city. But
Okay.
I haven't been there a whole lot, so I'm not too familiar with the area. But I do know that my mom's side is from there, so that's
Oh, okay.
so.
Great. That's good. That's good.
Cool. Have you been in Illinois your whole life, like born and raised? Or
Pretty
no?
much. No, I came to this country at the age of 6, and ever since then I've been here.
From where? Where you come from?
I'm originally from Mexico.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
The central to western Jalisco, where you've probably heard of Guadalajara.
yep. Yeah.
We're about 2 hours from there.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm from Arizona. Like
Oh,
for
okay.
most of my life, I've been raised in Arizona. But I'm like right on the border with Mexico, in a small.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of my friends growing up were from Mexico or immigrants and stuff like that. So I
Yeah,
definitely
that's
felt
cool.
times too. But
Yeah.
I don't think I was in Guadalajara for like a little bit, but not. It was like for like a day, so I haven't really
Oh,
spent.
okay.
But
That's quite all right. Quite all right.
yeah, it's not bad. But cool. Yeah, let's dive in. This call is pretty simple. So
Sure.
obviously, my job here is to help you out. So I know you talked to my partner a little bit. I do want to take some time to dive into like your business, your situation, what's working, what's
Hmm.
not working. Just make sure it really does make sense at the end of the day. Just because
Okay.
I mean, sometimes it's no for us. Like obviously, I don't partner with every single agent I hop on with, just because like it doesn't always make sense, and we're pretty picky about who we partner with at the end of the day. So this call is kind of to learn a little bit more about you. You learn about us. We kind of make sure if it's a heck yes for both of us, and then if it is, we can go ahead and get you up and running today. That being said, did you get a chance to kind of like creep us out on Instagram, social media, or anything like
I
that?
checked your website just briefly. I haven't had much time with family and business,
Yeah.
so yeah. So
Okay.
and so you guys help real estate agents with in what regards?
Yeah, good question. So basically, we're coming into agents' businesses, figuring out like where you're at right now, where you're trying to go, then what exactly needs to happen to actually get you from A to Z, right? So it's super
Okay.
dependent, obviously, like it's custom for everyone at the end of the day, just because like a broker with like 5,000 agents under them, they're going to need something different than a brand new agent only doing like a deal a month or something like that, right? So
Right.
it's pretty customized at the end of the day. So it looks a little different for everyone. Now, usually it does involve some lead generation at the beginning, so we'll do some online marketing through Facebook, Instagram, get people in the door, bring that volume in, build that consistency. And then we've got a sales team that actually call through them, nurture them, do all that follow up, pre qualify them, take them through our 6 point qualification process, and then connect them with you live on a phone call. So we'll just 30
Oh,
minute conversation.
I see.
Does that kind of make sense?
It makes sense. It makes sense. Lead generation. Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah. The only issue, have you done it in the past?
I've done it in the past. Not much success with Facebook and Instagram. I've gotten maybe a couple
You,
of deals, but not a whole lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Were you doing it yourself or were you doing it through like another company?
Uh by myself. By myself.
Like you were running your own Facebook and Instagram ads?
More Facebook than Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. Were they paid ads? Like were you paying for?
Yes. Paying for ads. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing. We've talked to a lot of people, either have tried it in the past themselves, it hasn't worked, or tried it in the past, like through other companies and it has worked. And so that's why we don't stop at the lead generation. Because a lot of the times people just get it wrong. They'll stop at the lead generation And that's
Mm-hmm.
fine if you're willing to set aside 5, 6 hours every single day, 7 days of the week, nonstop, calling every lead 10, 20, 30 times, calling hundreds of different leads to get in contact with them, sending emails, voice messages, follow-up sequences, throwing them in drip campaigns, and doing all that massive follow-up.
Right.
Because the truth is, out of 100 leads, 96 of them are not going to buy or sell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's usually the turnaround rate is 1 to 4%.
Yeah, one to
That's what
four.
I. Yeah.
Yeah, so the percentage of actual buyers and sellers is pretty low. Now they're still in there, of course they're still in there, but you've got to be generating, at least 100 leads to be able to see results, but also follow up with them like extensively. And so if you stop at the leads, like yeah, first off, how many leads were you usually generating when you were doing it?
Uh, Not a whole lot. For some reason, it wasn't generating a lot, and
Yeah,
some
like
of them were they
15.
ghost you after a certain amount of because they feel like it's it's just it's just Facebook or something
Yeah,
like that. You know, it's not.
yeah. Like, do you know how many you're usually getting a month? Like 50, 60, 100?
Yeah, around 30, 40,
Okay.
approximately. Yeah.
Okay. So, like, kind of how we were mentioning, like 1 to 4% actually end up
Uh
buying,
huh.
right? So
Yeah.
if you're only generating 30, 40 a month, then it takes 3 months to have
Uh
100
huh.
leads. And we need at least 100 leads because on the low end, 1% are going to buy or sell, right? Sometimes,
Right.
obviously. But even
Yeah.
that being said, like you'll still run into people that are ghosting you, hanging up the phone, not interested. And that's normal. But it's like you'll call through
Right.
those and then, start to think, this doesn't work or you won't do as much follow up. And then you're missing out on that 1%, right? But even to begin,
Right.
if you're only generating 30 a month, it's going to take you 3 months to be able to get one to four buyers or sellers, right? So
Correct.
you got to be generating at least 100 a month is what we've seen. Um,
Okay.
so obviously we're specialized in marketing. Like we have our proven campaigns and stuff. Like the volume is the easy part at the end of the day. It's not super complicated, but it's
Mm-hmm.
having the sales team in house to be able to call through those hundreds of leads, pre-qualify them, nurture them, so that they're whittling it down and taking them through that 6-step qualification process and
Okay.
it down to the 3% maybe, and then
Uh
connect
huh.
them live on the phone call. So that way you can just get
Okay.
through a conversation, right?
All right.
All you really got to do is pick up the phone, and then we're kind of doing all that in the back end.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Is that kind of what you're looking
No, that
for?
makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Is that kind of what you're looking for?
Well, I do some of. I also generate um, leads from our MLS system
Yeah.
by geographic areas, and I also, you know, call when I have some downtime where I schedule some time. I also try to generate leads out of that as well.
Okay.
Um, but
Tell me like
I
when.
haven't had time because of the springtime and summer is our busiest season.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, and that's the thing.
Mhm.
Like a lot of realtors, like once you start crushing, more deals, and obviously, like no matter what, like you're always going to be busy. You're going to need to show clients, so like it's hard to find that time. And if you
Right.
actually want to see results from it, you've got to be
Hmm.
on them for 5 hours a day, every single day, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
just not really realistic. And like if we can, like we
Hmm.
want to take care of that in the back end, while you focus just 100% of your energy on actually like going out, showing up, showing properties, going to listing appointments, buyers consultations, actually closing deals, right? So,
Right.
yeah, for you, what's your goal? How many deals
Well, last
a
a
year?
couple years back, I did about close to almost 48 or 40 some deals. Last year was a little slower because of it just turned a little bit. The market turned, and I did about 28 deals. So I
Last
was
year?
shy of like 20. It was 20 less. So this year I haven't really tracked it. I think I'm down up to maybe about 17 or 18 deals.
Oh wow.
So just I want to stay constant and maybe reach 50 or more if possible
Yeah.
this year.
So
Yeah,
you've closed 17 deals so far.
approximately 17. Yeah,
Gotcha. And last year it was 28.
28. Yes,
So 17, you're on track to maybe do 34,
35 or 38 somewhere around there. Yeah,
34. Okay.
yeah.
What are you like currently doing right now to, build that consistency back up and get back up to the point where you are doing like 50 deals a year?
Well, I get referrals from the office, um, walk-ins and past client referrals. I also signed up with UpNest, which is Realtor. It was bought by Realtor.com.
Yeah.
And so I've gotten a couple of listings from that. And then just old clients and new clients that come in, also from my referral partners, my loan officers. Right, one in particular, I get referrals from him.
Yeah.
So what I need to do is I need to set some time aside to follow up on my old leads as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you can, right? Like you can set some time aside. What a
yeah,
lot of people run into though is like, yeah, you can set some time aside and you might find like a deal or something here.
right.
And if you set a bunch of time aside, maybe you can scrounge up like a couple of deals for the following months. But then when the next month comes, all your energy then goes to like working with those clients, right? And
Hmm.
it takes up a lot of your time. So then all of a sudden you don't have time to do that calling and that.
Yeah, and that's where you guys come in, right?
Yeah, so that's why we're wanting to
Hmm.
kind of run it in the back end, where like we're in the back end, we focus 100% of our energy from actually marketing, bringing the people in, having the sales team call through them, do all that nurturing, then connecting them with you, and then all you got to focus on is just picking up the phone when it rings and when we have it
Right.
on the line, and just like closing deals,
Okay.
doing your thing, right, and being an actual real.
Right.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
yeah. So let me ask you. It seems like right now a decent amount of your business is coming from like referrals, like organic, like the.
Organic, and some uh, through Upnest and Realtor.com.
Yeah.
I was doing Zillow, but I stopped doing Zillow because the quality has dwindled and it's not
Yeah.
as good as before.
Are you closing deals from Upnest and Realtor.com, or are
I
you?
just closed one from Upnest
Nice.
last about 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
About 2 weeks ago.
How long you been working with them?
I've been working with them since September of last year, and I've gotten about 4 or 5 listings, and out of that, one of them is closed. I have another one that's under contract. So
Yeah.
it's just supplementing. You know,
Are
it's not.
you-
I'm not focused on it
Yeah.
as far as relying on it,
Yeah.
but it's just supplementing the number of deals.
Yeah. 100%. Are you having to like
Uh,
when they pass them to you? Do they just give you like a name and a number to give a phone call to, or?
what happens is you set up an account or profile with your services, and they submit proposals for you. They
Okay.
submit how much you're willing to charge in commission. What do you do for that? If you do if you do photos, a web page, floor plan, what other marketing things you do from open houses and things of that nature. Um, so they submit the proposal when someone clicks on your region and they're interested in getting a CMA, a
Yeah.
market analysis, or putting their house on the market. So then they send me a notification that my proposal's been sent, and sometimes they'll want to meet with me, or they'll just not be interested. Then there's these other leads that come in after they've seen my proposal, and they want to establish like a meeting or
Yeah.
free market analysis, and so then they will. That's how I've been able to get the listings that I have with them right now. I
Yeah.
have two
Yeah.
two listings with them.
Okay. And you've closed one or two from
Yeah,
them?
just one. I have one under contract that
Okay.
turned into a short sale, so those take time. Yeah, short sales take anywhere from 3 to 6 to 8 months to close. Short sales are when the
Yeah.
person is falling behind. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Okay. So and you've been partnered with them
Uh-huh.
since September. So like I'm guessing it's probably like paid for itself from the
It
closing.
has paid for itself.
It's
Yeah.
not like they're closing like a deal a month or two deals a month.
No, it would be great if I could with a service, but I
Yeah.
understand it's a numbers game, and the market has shifted a little bit. It's improving right now because of the season, so I'm hopeful. I'll
Yeah.
get some additional leads and
Yeah.
and
It's a
things. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's a numbers game to a certain extent.
exactly.
Bringing
Yeah.
people in is a numbers game, obviously. Like I said, like with the marketing, like we're wanting to bring in like 1 to 200 people every single month. But then
Right.
you're proactive and you actually
Correct.
filter them. You have a system to turn them into actual clients. Then
Right.
and it's about quality when it comes to that, and it's just numbers in the beginning, right? So it's a balance of both. Ultimately, the only problem is like with the numbers game is like
Hmm.
if you're just to take 1 to 200 leads and pop them on your plate. That's going to take a lot of follow up, right? So that's why we've
It
got
does. It does. It
like we're
does.
pretty much taking care of everything in the background so that we can actually get you
Okay.
deal a month, then
Okay.
up to 2 deals a month, and then 3 deals a month, right? And actually get you from 17 to 50. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
we predictably do it. So it creates a system that you can actually like
Hmm.
consistently rely on because you know you've got the volume and the numbers game part of it, but you've also got
Right.
a team in the background that's working all of it and calling through them and nurturing them and doing all that in the background, right?
Right.
Um, but let me ask you, I mean, like with
Uh,
and then obviously like you've got your organic business, like the referrals and everything. Like, do you feel like that's enough to get you up to 50 deals a year consistently, or you feel like you need
no.
to make some
No.
changes?
I think I need to add another service.
Okay, why not though? Like, why don't you feel like that can get you to 50?
I would have to do more on my end.
Right.
Um, the marketing that I do, that I do, follow ups and um, more lead generation from the MLS. I would have to. I could do it probably by myself, but I would have to set some time, maybe 3 times a week, to make the phone calls in between
Right,
showings, listing appointments, and
right,
servicing clients. Yeah,
right. And
yeah,
realistically, I mean, you're going to need more time than that in order to actually.
yeah. I agree with you. Maybe 3, 4 hours a day, or 5 hours a day. Maybe two
Yeah,
or three in the morning, and then an additional 1 or 2 in the afternoon,
yeah,
just to do do the numbers, because you're like you said, it is a numbers game.
yeah, yeah. For some parts of it, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
The only thing is like, I mean, then you're spending 5 hours on the phone, right? And then you get a bunch of business set up for the next month. But then, like I was kind of saying before, like the next month comes around, and then you start closing.
right.
You're in person, you're showing properties, you're going on listing appointments, and all of a sudden you realize like you don't have the time to be put aside 5 hours every single day, and you
Yeah,
can't.
it's not feasible. It's not feasible once you have activity going.
Right,
Like
right,
listings and showings and so
100%.
forth, and closings as well. You got to be there for the closings, most of them.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Okay. So you've hit 48 deals in a year before, though, right? Like a couple
I
years.
have, I have, I have. Yes, that
And
was
it's
about maybe 3 years ago, right
yeah,
around COVID time.
yeah,
Because after COVID, everybody was in a frenzy to upgrade,
yeah,
and we got into a lot of multiple offer situations. But I was able to close around 48 deals.
yeah. And it's
Yeah,
taken a bit of a dip, though. It seems like.
it has
Has
taken a dip.
that has that affected like anything for you, whether like your personal life or like your business? Or,
Well, you got to tighten the belt a little bit.
yeah,
Shift some of the marketing that I was doing, and eliminate some of it. So um, yeah, it does. It does. It's like with any economy,
yeah,
you have to adjust as times change.
yeah, 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 yeah. So,
Mhm.
and the thing that I've noticed with a lot of realtors is like a lot of the times, because the majority of your business is pretty organic, right? From like the referrals, people referring other people to you, past clients coming back to you, even like the
Yep.
lenders, right? Like first
Yeah.
off, it's good because it shows that people trust you, people like you, they want to reach out to
Hmm.
past clients, they want to come back to you, your friends and family, they want to refer other people to you. So it shows that you're good at your job, right? Like it's
Right. Well,
a
yeah,
good,
I've been doing it for 27 years. So,
yeah. I
but
know.
that doesn't mean anything though. But you're right. Like over the weekend, I was grilling at my nephew's uh, a birthday party, and I got a call from an old client from 16 years ago,
Yeah,
and he says, I have about 300K that I would like to invest into an investment property.
yeah, yeah,
So I put him in contact with the loan officer, and we're going to meet today at around 5 o'clock. So hopefully that'll turn out, a good pre-approval.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, so some clients do come back, others get lost in translation because a family member became a realtor, and because there's a lot of competition.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah,
thing. It's good because like it shows you're good at your job and you've been around. So obviously you have those connections. So those deals are going to come. Now the only thing,
right.
at least with other agents, I don't know if this is for you, but
Hmm.
like, it's not 100% in your control, right? Because like you don't always know when a past client's going to reach out to you. Like how random was that a client from 16 years ago all of a sudden called you up, but you didn't know.
Yeah, yeah,
You don't always know when a referral is going to come to you or anything like that. And so then we've
right.
also got the market in the back kind of going up and
Hmm.
down. And it's always going to be going up and down till the end of time. That's just like the industry that we're in. But
Yeah,
when the market is down, the general population is buying and selling less. Now, there are still people that are serious and are making a move, but those people
right.
might not necessarily be in your sphere. You know what I mean? And you can't really control, whether or not someone reaches out to you or whether someone, refers someone over to you or a past client reaches out to you. So the market going up and down can kind of throw you around a little bit.
Yeah,
Whereas
it can.
like if you have a system in place that's predictable and that's
Hmm.
running in the background, and we're specifically focused on targeting the people that are still serious about buying and selling, then it's running in the background. And then even when the market takes a dip, you're still consistently getting business because you have something in the background that's going to be consistently generating you business. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I
Yeah,
understand what you're saying.
yeah, 100%. So, like for you, let's say like we're actually able to get those systems in place and build that consistency and actually get you back up to the point where you are doing 48, 50 deals a year. Like
Hmm.
as opposed to right now, like what's actually going to like change for you, whether like personally or in business or whatever.
Well, if, when business is good, a lot of things tend to fall in place.
Yeah,
Primarily, the momentum, the income comes
mhm,
in, and so that's always helpful for the downtime in the winter time, because our business is cyclical, and spring, summer, and fall are usually more active, and there's more volume than obviously between December and February, because of the holidays and the winter in the Midwest.
yeah,
So that you got to set aside some funds, some reserves for those slow months.
unless we have consistency, right? 'Cause, like,
Right. Unless we have consistency, like you said, and we have something in place, a system in place where there are referrals coming in, even though they might not be ready at that moment. But you nurture them. I have a follow-up bus where it sends drip campaigns on a weekly, monthly, or
yes.
quarterly, however you set them up for buyers and sellers. And I also do my phone calls from time to time, just to follow up. Um, but yeah, you're right. There has to be a system in place.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, because we want to build that consistency, and then we want to be able to say like, hey, this is how much we have coming on in when we're putting in this amount. Now, how do we double it, right? And if it's predictable and if it's a system and it's consistent, then it's very easy to double your business. And then you can go from, I don't know if this is something that you want to do, but you can go from, doing 17 deals to 50 deals to 100 deals, right? Because it's all about
Right.
all the amount we're putting into it, but it doesn't take,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's just running in the background. So then you can
Correct.
double, triple your business.
Right.
Is it cool, like for you, is it cool to ask you more of a personal question, if that's all right?
Sure.
Like for you in your business, after being a realtor for, 20, 27 years, like obviously you've been in the business a long time, and
Right.
got the database and everything, but ultimately like having that consistency coming in where you don't have to
Hmm.
worry about setting money aside or anything like that. Uh,
Right.
and like, even doing like 50 deals a year, like obviously that income is there too, right? So there's more money, like what is that actually going to change for you? Like what's your life going to look like doing 50 deals?
Well, that would mean I would have to set some more money aside for retirement and as well, because I I don't. There's some realtors that are in their late 60s, early 70s that are still at it. I know
Yeah.
one that's like 70 something that he's a broker owner and he's still at it, which is it's a blessing, I guess, for him. And but eventually, I would probably want to retire,
Yeah.
probably around late 60s, if
Yeah.
God permits, life that long, or early 70s.
Yeah.
Because
Can I ask how old?
sure, I'm 52,
Okay. Okay.
52, yes.
So within the next like 10, 15 years, you're looking
Yeah,
at.
10 to 15 years, or yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that like, do you have like a family or like anyone?
I have two boys. I'm divorced. I have a 26-year-old and an 18-year-old.
And an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old?
18-year-old. He's at the university now. Well, not right now, but he's going to be enrolled for the second sophomore year.
Okay. So he already
Yeah,
finished freshman year. He's been in university. Okay.
yeah, for 1 year. And then my other 26-year-old, he's looking for work right now. So
Mm.
I'm helping him out. He lives with me right now. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, like aside from just setting money aside for yourself, like you'll be able to help with them a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. If they want to buy some a property or investment property or something, I would be able to have that the resources to help them with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. And then, listen, I don't mean to make this about like, your feelings or anything, or even like get too personal, but like even like as a father, right? Like being able to provide and being able
Right. No, I
to,
agree with you. I agree with you. It's
yeah,
that's what we're here for, to provide for ourselves and our family.
yeah. And how would that
Yeah.
feel, right? Providing and
It
like,
felt great. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%, right? And then also not having to go at it when you're like, in your 70s and 80s, like some of these crazy realtors. If they love it, right? But like you
Right.
gotta relax, ultimately, like enjoy your life because you only live once, realistically.
Right. Right.
So yeah, that's good. That's a beautiful goal. I think that's noble, right? And I look up.
Hmm.
So that's the top of the mountain, right? Like ultimately, you crushing, 50 deals a month or a year,
A
right?
year. Yeah,
And,
that would be great. That would be great.
and,
That would be a good start. A good goal to have. But then after that, people always want more. And the
yeah,
drive, as long as the drive is there, the ambition and
yeah,
and things fall in place along with your efforts, that should, you're always supposed to set the standard higher.
yeah, 100%. And so from
Yeah.
there, you're wanting to do even more than 50.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what's like what's the end goal ultimately? Like, is it a certain amount of money you want to have saved up, or is it a certain amount of deals you want to be doing per year? Like, what's the long term for you?
I think 50 to 75 would be ideal.
Yeah,
That way, because that translates to about 150K to 200,000. No, it
yeah,
actually translates to more. If you're doing 50, you're doing about over 200,
yeah,
200 in commission.
yeah.
So that would at least the 200 in commission would be great.
Yeah.
Again,
I
yeah.
mean, you do that for a couple of years consistently, you're gonna be having a
I
pretty good retirement. So
Yes, it would be great. Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, like I was kind of
Uh-huh.
saying, that's obviously the top tour wanting to go. Now the flip side, and it's not fun to think about realistically,
Right.
But it's important, right? Like I've worked with tons of successful agents and they always consider it. And it's like, what happens if nothing changes and like the business kind of does stay a little bit inconsistent, kind of going up and down, and you're not able to set aside that money to,
Hmm.
retire comfortably or provide for your kids. Like,
Right.
what does that look like for you?
Well, that means tightening the belt. I do have an investment property that I could probably sell off
Yeah,
eventually and recoup or have some additional funds to
yeah,
do some of those things. You
yeah,
never know. Kids might
yeah,
want to get married, and you're gonna have to contribute, and
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean,
and so forth. Yeah.
it's good that you've got the investment property right now and you've got
Hmm.
the savings and stuff. The only issue,
Yes.
if we're not growing and we're not bringing in more than we're spending, then those
Right.
kind of dwindle down. And then what
It
happens?
does. It does. Then you definitely have to take a different turn, make some changes.
And then you have to work during retirement, right? And
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
yeah. So like, I mean, let's look at that as well. Obviously, like we don't want it to happen, right? But like,
Right.
you did have to keep working until you were like 70 or 80. Like, would you want that? Like,
I wouldn't mind it, but I mean, my dad's 77 and he's still at it. He has a
oh,
landscaping company and he's still
so
he
hustling.
manages it and everything, and he's hustling, and so I admire him immensely. But I think the cap would be, I would say, 75, 76, because by that time I think the energy level is has changed by that time, and also,
Yeah,
um, yeah,
yeah,
it's yeah, I see it with my dad and everything, how it takes more naps and so forth. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
100%. I mean, we don't want to be sleeping through the whole life, right? Like, we don't
No, we don't. No, we don't. Although my grandfather used to say, sleeping is half of your life almost.
yeah, yeah, it is.
You've got to recharge. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Obviously, you need to sleep, right? But like, my point is,
Hmm.
like, we don't want you to be, tired and kind of slow.
No, not at all. And that has to do with your health choices and exercise and all of those things as well. Your physical state of mind
Yeah, yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Are you pretty active? I can't see you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm I'm 5'9" and I'm about 245. So I've got I know I have to lose maybe about 20, 25 pounds.
Yeah,
So I'm I'm going on walks. I'm trying to stay more active now,
mhm,
especially now with the summertime coming out.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So I lost about 5 pounds already. So it's at about a year and a half ago, I lost around 20 pounds or 23 pounds. And so
Oh, nice.
I'm,
Good.
my goal is to lose about maybe 20 more pounds. So
Yeah, yeah,
keep me
100%.
active.
Yeah, keep you active, keep you frustrated in real estate. I love it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, like the world's you're not living under a bridge or anything. Like the world's not going to end. But realistically, like,
Right.
are you willing to settle if nothing changes in the business, or you feel like it's definitely time to make a change?
I think it's time to make a change.
Yeah.
I don't want to settle with just, 28, 30, or 35 deals.
Yeah.
Um,
And
I mean,
what's worst
mhm.
case scenario also is like if that number keeps going down, because the market can dip more.
It can shift. It can shift. You never know. Never
Yeah.
know with what's going on. Although they said that the interest rates are going to come down a little bit, but that's going to just generate more buyers, more multiple offers.
Yeah.
Um, Prices have been fairly steady, so that's going to mean keep the market going as long as they don't go too high. Because if they go too high, the prices, then people are going to really get back on the fence and wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
It's tricky because, and that's why we want to have like some consistency in place. We will kind of want to
right,
go offense a little bit, right? Like, don't wait for the market to kind of do whatever it does, and then your business gets affected by it. Like, we need consistency so that no matter what happens,
right.
you've always got that safety net, and you can continue
Hmm.
to add up, put money aside for retirement. Support your kids. One of them decides to get married, you cover the wedding, stuff like that.
Right.
And really
Yeah.
be the best version of yourself at the end of the day. So, like, are you committed to doing everything you can in your own ability to get there for you, yourself, and your kids even?
In the family, yeah, of course, of
Yeah,
course, yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
Yeah, easy question, right? Uh,
Yeah, it is. It is.
yeah, without a doubt, right? So, yeah, I
Uh-huh.
mean, based off what you told me, like, I definitely do believe what we do would work for you, and I'm not just saying that just for like the fun of saying that, but
No, I know, I know, I know. I mean, there's salesmen, and then there's. I know you want to get the sale, and so does everybody else.
yeah,
But you've got to provide something of substance. Because I've tried different sales organizations, referral business companies, and
yeah,
some of them have not um, panned out.
mm,
Have not come in with the right results.
yeah,
Um,
okay. That's good to know.
So yeah, I've tried several. I tried several. It's been
Yeah.
a couple years, 2 years ago. I tried another service that focused just on listings, and I was able to get one listing out of that.
What was it?
Um,
What was the name?
I forgot. It was a tick mark leads.
Yeah.
They're they're not. They provided about 30 leads in a process of about 4 months,
Oh, wow.
and when one of them turned into a listing, which was good.
Not
So
enough
it
though.
kind of paid for itself, but
Yeah.
I expected more,
Yeah.
and I was following up with the clients but some of them aren't ready yet
Yeah.
as
And that's
well.
the problem. Like I was kind of saying, like with just
Yeah.
leads, you'll run into that sometimes. So
Yeah,
what?
there is some um, turbulence per se,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. 100%.
some lag time on some of the leads.
Yeah. So yeah.
All you can do is nurture them and follow up with the new leads or the older leads or just the referrals. Yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to take that off your plate with these systems ultimately. Like we've got the sales team in the background, and when we connect them with you on the phone, like they're like ready to go, like sooner rather than later, obviously, because we've taken them through our 6-step qualification
Mhm.
process and actually like
Okay.
open with them. And I'll walk you through how all those systems work. But I obviously want to be like very clear, like with me, like it's not about me making the sale or anything like that. Ultimately, like I'm here to serve you, and I want you to get the results. So that's the only reason. Because like I don't make these offers to every agent I hop on with.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
need to be 100% confident that you can make this, that you can actually, make the systems work and that you can close the deals, right? Because
Right.
we have guarantees in place, obviously, and if I go around offering guarantees to every single agent, some agents, aren't going to have the skill level, right? So
Right. Yeah.
if we connect you with someone who's like actually ready to go, they've got their budget, their time frame, their motivation, their financial status, their search criteria, they're not working with another agent. Are you
Right.
confident that you'll be able to close them? Because that's important.
Yeah, absolutely. I get referrals from also from business partners like attorney. I have one attorney that I've been dealing with for over 20 years, and he sends me business all the time. I'm
Yeah,
actually helping him sell his investment property. We're
yeah,
under contract right now. Um, and I sold one of his other properties about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. So I mean, there's the main thing with this business or with providing the services is you have to establish rapport, and
mm,
people are looking to make a huge financial decision,
right,
and you've got to take that into account
yeah,
because they want to be treated fairly, competently, with
yeah,
respect, and especially when they're making that such a huge decision, they want to be guided through the process. They don't want to be told, after you show them one or two or three or four properties, you got to buy this one. And
yeah,
I'm not like that. I'm not a pushy sales guy, realtor. I've lasted some clients a couple weeks, couple months. I lasted a couple of clients, maybe two or three clients where they bought after about 3 or 4 years. I had one client last year that bought an investment property, and it was almost like 10 years that I was
yeah.
dealing with them. So it's not about selling somebody. It's about servicing them and providing a service that can be of substance to them since they're making such a
100%.
huge decision, and
100%.
trusting you with that decision.
Yeah. And not a lot of agents realize that, which is why I don't make like offers to a lot of agents. But because you understand that, that's why I'm, actually going to make you an offer ultimately and kind of walk you through everything. Um,
Right.
just because I'm very confident that you're gonna, crush it with this. So, are you good on time right now? By the way.
I have I have about 30 more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
How much time do you need?
We'll make it pretty quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna share my screen here. Can you see this?
Yeah. Yeah, that's your website. Yeah.
So yeah, we're Ablaze. We've been in business for a little over 2.5 years now, and I can give you access to this as well. But there's three main parts of what we're doing. So the first part are the leads. Ultimately, like I was saying in the beginning, like lead generation is obviously important. So we do it on
Hmm.
Facebook and Instagram. We do paid ads, similar to how you're doing. But we've got a whole marketing team in the back end that specializes in marketing. So we're bringing in usually 1 to 200 leads every single month for each of our partners. Um, so yeah, we've got the volume, and that's to build consistency ultimately, just because like before, with your SOI and your referrals and your friends and family and past clients, like they're great because people trust you and like you. And that's why I know you're going to see success ultimately. It's just you don't always know when it's going to come in, right? So with paid,
Right.
when we're
Yeah.
running paid marketing, we know based off how much we put in, how much we're going to get out of it every single month. And it's very consistent. Um, so yeah, now obviously 1 to 200 leads, if we were just to take that and plop them down on your plate, you're going to be spending 5 hours every single day, calling 10, 20, 30 times, send them emails, voice messages, do tons of follow up, throw them in a bunch of different drips and everything.
Hmm.
Will it down because typically only 1 to 4% actually end up buying and selling, right? So
Right.
it doesn't make sense. You're not going to have time to do all that, especially when we start, getting you back up to 50 deals a year. You're going to be more busy. So we've got an in-house sales team that actually calls through those hundreds of leads, pre-qualifies them, does all that nurturing, does all that follow-up on your behalf, right?
Right.
Now, these guys, they've all specialized in real estate in the US before, so they're all able to have those high-quality conversations. We're hopping on, we're training with them every single day. But you use Follow Up Boss, correct?
I use Follow Up Boss, correct? Yes.
That's perfect. We can integrate with Follow Up Boss. So like when we actually connect them with you, we can get that to send over to Follow Up Boss. Now the hundreds of leads though, you're not really going to be in contact with them much. Now we're running them from your account, so all the systems and everything, you've got full ownership over everything. But we've got a separate CRM that we build out that the ISA, the sales team, calls out of. Right, so they're in there, so that way they're operating out of your own CRM. So you can go into there, you can see everything that's going on, and you've got full ownership over all of these systems. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Now, speed is obviously super important when it comes to online leads. The difference between calling a lead within 5 minutes of it coming in and 30 minutes of it coming in, it's kind of wild, but your likelihood of getting connected with them can drop by 50 to 90%, right?
Wow.
So
Okay. Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
you're not always going to have time to like drop everything you're doing and call a lead the second it comes in. So that's why we've got the sales team on the side and on the back end on standby, so that the second lead does come in, they're there to say like, "Hey, I got this one. I'm going to give them a call," and then we're getting in contact with them within like 2 minutes of them coming in on average. Typically, it's within a couple seconds.
Okay.
This way, no one's slipping through the cracks. We're just making the most out of everyone, right?
Right.
Now, after we actually do have a conversation, we take them through our six-step qualification process, and I'll walk you through that. What we'll do is we'll just give you a phone call. So it'll just be like a normal phone call on your phone. You can save our number as a Blaze or whatever. And then you'll pick up the phone. We'll call. We'll say, "Hey, Renee, I've got a client on the line. They want this, 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 and this. This is their situation. Can you help them out?" And then we'll merge the two phone calls together and introduce you directly with the client. Right?
Okay.
So we'll be on like a three-way phone call where we're literally there, like saying, "Hey, Renee, this is John. John, this is Renee. Renee, I was just talking to John. He wants a 3-4 bedroom for around 400,000. He wants to be in a better school district for his kids. This is his whole
Right.
situation." And then they'll know like that we were listening on the call when our sales team was talking to them, and it's just very transparent and out in the open. But then also that way you have all their information, so you don't have to focus on like fishing for their credit or anything like that. You can literally just focus on building rapport.
Okay.
You start to you build rapport, you build a connection, and then you
Right.
suggest like meeting at the local coffee shop or something like that, or going to their house, giving them a home evaluation or something.
Right. And we're a brick and mortar store office. So we have a conference rooms that we can use if they want to come and meet here.
100%. Yeah, that's helpful. We
Yeah.
always suggest sitting for meeting in person when we connect them with you. But let me walk you through because obviously the quality of the people that we connect with you, that's like the most important part.
Right.
So for the ISAs or the sales team, they were setting up their scripts, building out their training regimen, setting up all their KPI trackers. So tracking their speed of lead, their outbound dials, their pickups, their quality conversations, their appointment booking rate. And then we're setting up the minimum numbers that they need to be hitting. We're hopping on calls with them. We're training with them every single day. But because we're tracking all those numbers, we're able to tell when we're going back and like reviewing their calls and training with them, like if their pickup to quality conversation rate is low, then they need to tonality, switch up the openers they're using. If quality conversation, the booking rate's low, they need to build more rapport, switch up the value we're providing on the call. If speed of leads low, adjust their hours a little bit. If outbound hours are low, increase their hours or maybe hire another sales rep or ISA. If pickup rate's low, we're dropping voicemails, double dialing them, switching up the time of day we're calling them. And then if pickup rate's high, rinse and repeat, right? If it's not broken,
Right.
doesn't necessarily need fixing. But this way we're optimizing for responsiveness. So out of the hundreds of leads we're generating, we're getting in contact with the most amount possible for us to get in contact with them. And we're making the most out of every single one of those phone calls so we can have more serious conversations with serious buyers and sellers.
Okay. Great.
Does that make sense so far?
It makes sense. Perfect sense. Yeah. Well, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
I deal with different markets, English speaking, Spanish speaking. Do you guys have, I've even dealt with young Ukrainian and Ukrainian customers, but I don't speak it. So, but I do speak Spanish. I'd say about fluent.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's also within the framework of your efforts. If you have those kind of clients as well.
Yeah, good question. We do have a couple Spanish-speaking clients or partners, and
partners, okay.
Because our sales team, no one on our sales team speaks Spanish,
Right.
and none of like the head people in our team speak Spanish, so it's hard to train Spanish-speaking sales.
Right. Yeah.
But what we'll do is like if we do run into someone that speaks Spanish, we'll still
Right.
connect them with you. It just might not be over like a live phone call. Instead, we'll just give the name and we'll tell you, hey, give them a call at this time. This is when they said they were available. Because
Okay, great.
people will speak like rough English, and then you can give them a call. And then if you're speaking Spanish, that's like instant report right there.
It is. It is.
You'll connect like nothing. So you don't even necessarily need the sales reps for that part.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll still connect them with you. It just might not be like live over a phone call.
Mhm.
Now, I know I was telling you about the 6-step qualification process.
Right.
So these 6 white boxes up here, these are the 6 minimum touch points that the sales team, they have to get at least this information before they're allowed to connect them with you on a phone call, right? So this is like built into their job description. It's in writing. Legally, they need to get these 6 key pieces before they're allowed to connect them with you. So that's making sure that they're not working with an agent already. So that's super important because of the new laws and everything.
Right.
Their
Yes.
budget, so making sure that they can buy or sell, their time frame, so making sure that they're not like a year out or anything like that. Not to say that that's a bad lead, it just takes more follow up.
No.
So we'll
Yeah,
continue.
it takes more nurturing.
Yeah, we'll continue to follow up, nurture with them on your behalf, and then their motivation. So why do they actually want to buy or sell? Typically, someone who wants to be closer to work or wants to be in a better school district for their kids. Those people are more likely to make a move than someone who just thinks it'd be cool to own a house. So we can kind of inflame that urgency and also get a gauge for how serious they really are. And then their financial status. So are they pre-approved? Are they paying cash? Do they need lending? If they do need lending, making sure they've got like a steady income coming in, they've got good credit, and then what they're expecting is like a monthly mortgage payment as well. So we can make sure that that's realistic for what they're looking for in your market, right?
Okay. Right.
And then the search criteria as well. So do they want like a golden driveway? Do they want like a water slide that goes off the roof and does like in the back?
Okay. Right.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah. So obviously these 6 key pieces of information, like it's good info to know as the realtor, but the main
Right.
reason for getting these 6 key pieces of information in the 6-step qualification process is because if someone can actually have a conversation with us about all 6 of these things and actually answer all 6 of these questions, then that shows us that like they've actually thought about this before, they're serious, they can, like they're actually wanting to make a move, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What questions do you have so far on this?
Well, I know that it takes time to generate all of set the campaign. How long does it usually take before, say, I sign up and we partner? What's the time frame of from start to when I would start receiving, uh, you know, leads per se?
100%. From onboarding call,
Right.
from your onboarding call, which is like another call that we're going to have, and we're just like connecting the accounts and everything. From there, you can get the leads in as soon as like 24 to 48 hours.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
So it's quick. It's fairly quick. Yeah.
You might not necessarily, because keep in mind, we're not connecting you with hundreds of leads. We're only connecting
No.
people that we've actually spoken with on the phone. So
Right.
typically that's like 5. You're typically going to get around 5 to 10 of those per month. So keep in
I
mind, it's
see.
not like every day, but it's like when your
Mhm.
phone's ring, it's an actual person who's like asking to go see houses in person and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, do you? Well, it depends. I understand, and variables change, and people's interests change, and different kind of clients are out there. But do you get? Have you noticed that the results have been more listings, or more buyers, or just almost an equal amount, or
Yeah, good question. So that comes down to the marketing initially. So
right?
if we're wanting to only get listings, we can target just listings, or we can target just buyers.
I see.
Or
Okay,
we can do both. So for you,
combination of
are
both.
you wanting just sellers or just buyers or both?
I would say about 60-70% listings, and then 30% to 40% buyers. I
Okay.
would say. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can target just, or for that, we probably run 2 separate campaigns. So we'd run like one listing campaign and then one buyer's campaign to split the budget. Um,
Right.
and we'll do it like according to like 60% and 40%, obviously. Um,
Right.
so yeah, we can target both or
Okay.
just
Okay.
one. And here, let me, here, I also want to show you like the last part. And arguably it's, one of the most important parts. I think it's the most important part at the end of the day.
Right.
Let me bring this back up. So it's the team that's going to be running and operating all those systems for you, right? So you're going to get a marketing specialist, multiple ISAs, that's the sales team, and then a CSM as well. So the marketing specialist, they're in charge of that marketing. So whether we target, getting the listings or the buyers, coming up with new campaigns, switching ad campaigns out, and then when we get a lead
Hmm.
also that closes with you, we'll take that lead and throw it back into the marketing, into the AI, and be like, hey, bring us more people like this, right? So then we get
I see.
higher quality of people coming in. So the marketing specialists, they're in charge of all that. So all like the nerdy stuff. and then the sales team. So you're gonna have multiple ISAs. That's just inside sales agents. So the sales team, they're gonna be calling through them, having those conversations with the hundreds of leads that we're generating, filtering out the 94%, 96%, and then getting you in contact with the 1 to 3% that are actually gonna make a move.
Right.
And then a client success manager. So this is going to be a main
Okay.
point of contact. So we'll be texting back and forth. Obviously, like if you have a question for us or we have a question for you, we can hop on a call, figure it out. Every 2 weeks, though, we're going to have a Zoom call scheduled, kind of like this, where we can actually discuss, like, hey, what's going on your end with the people we're sending you? What's going on our end? And then we can kind of discuss, like, do we want to target a different area? Do we want to raise the price points that we're targeting? Do we want to switch buyers and sellers to just sellers or just buyers? So we can work together and kind of strategize, like, where we want to pivot things as we're getting more and more business in the door.
That makes sense.
So we're not some big corporation where we're just going to kind of like sign you up and then you get whatever you get. Like we're working together. All these systems are inside your business. We're working together directly to grow your business, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and then these are like testimonials and reviews and stuff like that. I'll just kind of like run through them pretty quickly. I don't know if you got a chance to look at these on the website, but I'll just move
together. I know we sent.
They've been working with ASIN.
It's funny because we've got a lot.
Last week they called me and
I don't like feedback. Just
you guys have a great program. You have great training. You have great follow-up. You do what you say. You guys are honest.
So yeah, they're there.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's pretty much everything in terms of like from like A to Z, like actually generating the leads, having the sales team call through them, pre-qualifying them, connecting them with you on the phone. How we build that consistent, predictable business actually like gets you up to 50. So yeah, to kind of see where you're at, like on a scale from like 1 to 10, like 10, you love it. 1, you're a nice guy, but I just don't want to talk to you anymore. Where would you put yourself on that scale from 1 to 10?
I think I'm about a 7.5 to 8. I think I can improve, and that just has to do with hold on. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, bye guys. Bye. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Yeah, no, that's because that was my brother, the broker owner, and his kids. They stopped by.
Gotcha.
At the office.
Yeah.
So where were we? They distracted me.
Yeah, no, actually, hold on one quick sec. I'm going to
Sure.
drop the charger really quick because my computer's about to die. I'll be back. Give me like 2 minutes or like 2 seconds.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So I was saying, in terms of like the systems and everything that we kind of just like went over, just
Yeah.
so I can see where you're.
Oh, the 7.5 to 8%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can improve. And I've done it in the past. But I think partnering up with the right organization would help for referrals, and it seems like you guys have a good system in place. The only thing is, what's the cost involved, and how does this work with you guys?
Yeah, 100%. It's a good question. So yeah, well, I'll dive into that in just a second.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, 7.5 to 8, like, is the only thing keeping you from a 10, just like that we haven't gone over the numbers, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's the market. It helps when it's thriving across the board.
Yeah.
But, you go through cycles. Through sales, and so I just have to put more emphasis on than what I'm already spending. I work pretty much 6-7 days a week, but I know that with more business it would be more like 7 days a week, including Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm willing to commit to it basically. To get to that 10%, to the 100%, or the 10. Scale. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love how you're kind of like involving yourself in it too, because like obviously like we're gonna do everything we can to get you the clients, right? Like it's still up to you to close them though, and I know you can.
Exactly. Yes.
And I think for you, like it's not as much as like a closing issue; it's just getting in front of the right people that actually want to buy or sell, right? And I've got like
correct
that you're able to do that, so I feel super good about it. Why like a 7 or 8 and not like a 1? Like what do you actually like about the systems? What do you think it's going to give you that you're missing right now?
I think that what I like is that it has you have those steps in place where you're actually, when you start asking all those questions to the possible client, it shows that you're not just trying to sell them, because
Yeah.
they can pick up. I mean, even when I get calls and stuff, I'm like, I can pick up right away if it's worth my time or not.
Yeah.
And if you call and you spend less than 5-10 seconds with them, that's not a very good call. And I understand that time is of the essence, but uh, going through those questions with them, where are you in your buying process or your selling process, and all those other questions. Yeah, are you working with an agent? It shows more in depth um, attention to the person, because this is ideally this is a person to person people business,
Yeah.
and the more you nurture that aspect of it, I think you would have much better results with
Yeah.
your clientele and your
100%.
relationship with them.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And that's why we've got the sales team to kind of take care of everything in the back end, right? Like we can take care of like qualifying them. And then when we get it to you on the phone, we already
Right.
know all their six, criteria. We know they're serious. We know they want to. We know their price points, their budget, whether they're pre-approved or, paying cash. So we know all that. And then you can
Right.
answer that phone call and then just be super, build rapport, build a connection, meet with them in person. And then you're participating in the people business aspect of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
100%. Let's kind of go over numbers because I know you're probably wondering right now.
Right.
What other
Right.
questions do you have besides that?
We want to see if we'll fit as far as economically. Um, I know that it's going to take maybe a couple of weeks in order to see some results, or a month. But right now we're in June, mid-June, halfway through the year. We
Yeah,
have about 4.5 months of good business
yeah,
before the winter time. Even though you mentioned about setting the systems in place and,
yeah.
and getting and getting additional leads in the winter time. Um, but yeah, yeah, if we can jump into the economic part of the
100%.
program.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Let me go ahead share my screen because it can get kind of
Sure.
I'll kind of break it down for you. So this is for you. So we'll go ahead and what we'll do is we're going to split up into two phases, right? So phase one and then there's phase two. So phase one is let me underline that. So phase one is 90 days.
Okay.
So phase one, 90 days, about 3 months. And then, like I said, like we do have a guarantee. So it's 3 deals slash contracts in 90 days or money back
Hmm.
guarantee. So that's why, like I was saying, like I obviously don't offer this to everyone because we've got a guarantee in place and it's like no BS. Just like we'll send you your money back if you don't have 3 deals. Um,
Hmm.
so that's why we're pretty picky about who we partner with at the end of the day. Like I said, I definitely know you're going to crush it. Now, there's two investments with us. So there's the ad spend, which you're familiar with, right? Because you run paid ads on Facebook, right?
Right.
So there's
Yes.
an ad spend. So that doesn't touch our pockets at all. That goes straight from you to Facebook and Instagram. So Mr. Zuckerberg up there. So that's not what you're paying us at all. It's just what, you got to put into the ads in order to bring the flow coming in.
Hmm.
Do however much you want, but our recommendation is $30 per day towards the ads. So that's not paying us. That's just going straight to the ads to push it out. And then in terms of what we get paid ultimately for phase one, it's pretty simple. It's just 5K. That makes sense.
So you guys get paid 5K out of those 3 deals?
Yeah, for phase one, correct.
Okay. So there isn't a percentage that you want from each deal, or it's just 5K
So
for you?
not for
Uh-huh.
phase one, not for phase one, because obviously there's a lot of work that's being set in place and there's a lot that goes into these systems. So for phase one, we're not going to be like taking money out of your commissions or anything like that. We want that all to go 100% to you. Just that way you've got the guarantee. At the end of phase one, you've got your 3 deals. You're collecting 100% of that. You're not giving us any commission or anything like that. So that's for phase one. And then after phase one, we can move into phase two, and that's going to switch to like performance basis, right? Once you've actually gotten the systems, we know it's a good fit for both of us. Obviously, we'll move into phase two. So for phase two, it's another 90 days, and then after the 90 days, it's just as you go. So there's no like long time commitment or anything like that. So it's 90 days, and then it's still the $30 per day, just on ads, obviously, which doesn't touch our pockets again. And then for us, it's $200 per live transfer, and then 10% referral fee. And that's just like your normal agent to agent referral fee paid at closing. But that's in phase 2, so you don't have to worry about it until after phase 1.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So when does the 5K have to be paid out for
So
phase 1?
yeah, so we just take care of that on this call, and then we'll get your onboarding call on the calendar. We'll get you in the channel. You can meet the rest of the team. My partner can give you a call, introduce himself, and we can start building everything out.
Well, that's a hefty amount.
I mean,
5K. Yeah, that's
it depends. Yeah,
that is.
it's not a small amount at the end of the
No,
day.
it's not. No.
I'll be honest with you, we're not the cheapest option out there, realistically.
Right.
But keep in mind, though, also like you going from 17 deals so far this year to
Mhm.
50 deals, and then 75 deals from there, and also even like 3 deals in 90 days, like that's going to pay for the 5K and the $30 they ad spend, no problem. Even one of those deals would. Now we guarantee 3, so like that's a pretty big deal too, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean there are ways to go about splitting up the 5K if you want to look into that.
Mhm.
I'm happy to dive into
Sure,
that.
we can do that.
Before we go ahead and we even like dive into that, because like the most important part for me, Renee,
Uh-huh.
I want to support you obviously, and let me support you. Like, do you, in your own opinion, like, do you actually feel like the systems and everything we laid out for you, like, you feel like it can actually get you, a deal a month, and then 2 deals a month, and then get you back up to 50 and 70, so you can put money aside for retirement and everything?
Yeah, I think I like your system that you have in place.
Yeah,
I, I,
100%.
I think so. I think so.
Why you
Mhm.
specifically, like, why do you feel like it can? Why do you like it?
Um, well, I like that you like I mentioned before, you screen the clients,
Yeah,
and there's been a whole series of questions,
right,
and so in a sense they have and you have skin in the game,
right,
making that decision to deal with a referring agent. So that in itself, I think I think it shows value there.
yeah,
Uh, Being able to, because I've done a lot of telemarketing myself,
yeah,
and lead generation on my own, and it can be draining,
yeah,
and there's a lot of rejection. So I understand that it takes about 100 to get 1 or 2 deals,
right,
100 leads, and I've done 30, 40, or 50 calls within a couple of hours.
yeah,
So I see the value in it.
yeah,
Um, I think that's why I would want to partner up with you guys,
100%.
because it is. I know how it is when you're even though it's with Facebook and some of this other online advertising. Um, and I can see the struggle basically,
Yeah.
of getting clients that are ready to go. Um,
I mean,
and
it's not so much of a struggle as it just
Mhm.
takes up time, right? So like that's why I'm
Right,
not taking
time,
200, throwing it on your plate, because then it takes up your
right.
time. And
It
the whole
does.
point of these systems is like we
Hmm.
focus 100% of our energy and our entire team's energy on getting you clients, and now you can focus 100% of your energy on actually closing the deals, as opposed to like
Right.
50% getting clients, 50% closing deals. Now we've doubled the amount of time and energy that you have going into working with your clients, but without
Right.
actually increasing the amount of time that you need to work, right? So
Hmm.
it's a balance, it's a partnership, right? Like we're in the back end getting you the clients. Now all you got to do is close them, right? So
Right.
you spend your time doing the highest leverage thing that you can do. Um, so yeah, that's good. That's perfect. So in terms of like the investment, right? Like the 5K, like is it a case that like you have the full investment? There just is a bit of like uncertainty, or you got some of it, and we need to figure out like logistically how to like move around it or break it down, or none of it, and you and I got to go grab some ski masks and go like, rob a bank or something.
No, I have a portion of it. I would say about half of it, 2,500.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in terms of the investment, there's a couple ways we can go about breaking it down.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I can suggest we do. We go ahead, we get your onboarding call on the calendar, we get you in the Slack channel, you can meet the rest of the team. My partner, you can go ahead and give you a call, introduce himself. We'll start building out the systems. And what we can do is we can split it up 50%. So what we can do is we can do 2,500 now, and then we can do 2,500 in 30 days from now. So we can get you rocking and rolling. Would that make it easier?
That would make it sense. I have about. You're not supposed to count the closings until they happen,
Mm,
but I have about 2, 4. We got about 4 or 5 deals in the hamper right now, so that would that would work out. I think it's a fair way to start.
Okay, perfect, sweet. So yeah, let's do that then. And then I just got a form that we'll go ahead and fill out pretty quick, and then we'll get you
Sure.
on there. All right.
Okay. Okay.